everybody, welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back with another interesting video on the Paracord series. Today I want to talk about Titan Paracord. Now you guys might have seen that I'm a firm believer of Titan Paracord. This stuff is really good. Type 3, 550 tensile strength, Mil C 5040, Revision H, military grade. You know, this is just really good, solid Paracord. Good price, good company, good people. I can't say enough good things about Titan Paracord, okay? So right now I want to introduce you to a new version of the Titan Paracord that I think you guys are going to be really excited about. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the video. So right now you can see that in my hand I have some Para 550 cord. This is Paracord. For those of you who've never seen this before, this has 7 inner strands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see there's an 8th inner strand. This is a flammable fire starting type strand. Okay, this is Paracord. Para 550. These are 2-ply strands. 7 inner strands plus the 8th strand makes it a Paracord. Okay, so this is commercial grade type 3 Paracord. You can smell that it has some sort of fuel or something in it. It's waterproof, nylon cord again, and it has that inner strand, that 8th one. I can't stress it enough. This will accept a spark from a ferrocerium rod. If you haven't seen my video on this Para 550 cord, please check my channel, do a search for this product. It's a really cool product. You're probably wondering, why am I talking about this when I was talking about Titan Paracord earlier? That's because Titan kind of took this and went a step further, and I want to introduce to you their newest product. I think you're going to be really excited. This is Titan's new product. This is called Survivorcord. This is really cool stuff. Again, just like all the Titan products, it comes with a really nice little strap here with Velcro to keep it together. When I look at the other Titan Paracords, and let me pull this out of the paper, or excuse me, plastic here, to just give you a visual. This new Survivorcord is much thicker than the standard Para 550 cord. Okay, it's Mil C 5040H, all that good stuff. Military grade, it's good stuff, but you can see clearly that it's thicker. These are both 100 feet. And you're probably wondering, what's the difference? What makes this Paracord different? Well, let me pull a little section off here. Tie me a little knot. And we're going to break this thing down and show you what's going on with this Survivorcord. So let me cut right here. Bam, right? Stick that knife. Now let me pull this camera. Here we go, guys. Okay, I'm pulling you close. I'm gonna break these inner fibers down. There's 3 extra fibers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's my color identifier. So that's 7 inner strands. Let me put this aside for a second. So there's my 7 inner strands. Let's unravel one and see how many ply it is. This is a 3-ply inner strand. So I have 7 3-ply inner strands that are nylon cord, Mil C 5040H. This is military grade 550 cord right now as it stands, but there's 3 extra things going on. I have a small section of jute twine. I have a small section of brass snare wire, and I also have a 25, don't quote me, but I believe it's 25-pound test fishing line also included in this cord. So not only do we have our standard Mil C 5040H type 3 550, very strong stuff, so this tensile strength on this cord is at least 550 pounds because we're adding the extra tensile strength of these 3 fibers. So this thing probably 600 pounds, I'm guessing. I don't know. excuse me, it's probably pretty heavy duty stuff. I'm really excited about this. You know, the jute twine is made so that we can pull that out. Bear with me. I might need my knife here. Pull that jute off. And what the concept is behind the jute is kind of the same concept that they had when they built and it wasn't Titan that did it, but they kind of have the same concept behind this jute, and that is to use this as a fire starting material. So it'll accept a spark. I'm smelling it, and I don't smell anything, so it's just standard natural fiber jute. You know, you can see that it processes down very small, so I'm guessing that this would accept a spark fairly readily. So I'm going to show the jute in this video. I'm also going to show the snare wire in this video, but I'm not going to show the fishing line because obviously I'm not near any place where I can go fishing right now. So there's the jute broken down. I'm going to adjust the camera, and I'm going to use the lightning strike and see what I can do in reference to getting a spark onto this, and see what it looks like when it takes a spark. So let's take a look down there, just like this. So there's my jute that I roughed up right there. It's a little bit windy today, folks, so bear with me. So I'm just kind of roughing up the fibers on the jute. This is pretty cool stuff. I'm really excited to show this. So here's my lightning strike. I'm going to go ahead and take that jute and run a spark to it, and hopefully we'll get some ignition here. See that? That thing lit up pretty quick. So there's our fire starting capability. Back out to where I was. Alright folks, sorry about that crazy camera work there. So we just showed the fire starting ability of the jute. Now let's take a look at this snare wire. I'm going to have to pull a little bit more of this off, so bear with me. You know, one thing that I noticed about this Survivorcord that I did not like, you know, and I'm going to say it like it is, okay folks, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I did not like the fact that I cannot pull, say for example I want to go fishing, I can't pull just 10 feet of fishing line out. I'm trying and it just doesn't want to go. Same thing with this brass snare wire. If I try to get a hold of the snare wire, I can't just pull just the snare wire out. That's the downside to this cord. So to get the snare wire or the fishing line out, or probably the jute for that matter, you're going to need to cut the amount of the length of cordage that you want. So in this case I'm going to just cut this little piece off, and the unfortunate part is that you have to pull all of the inner strands out to access the fibers. Again, if I try to pull just this snare wire and I even use my knife, it's very difficult to get this. See, it's all clumping up on me and stuff. So that's the only downside that I see to the Survivorcord. Other than that, it's a great product. I really like it. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to pull these guts out. Okay, I have my outer core now. About 200 pounds of tensile strength there. And then I'm going to set all these 7 inner strands aside. And again, I have my fishing line now. See that? And I know I said it earlier, I think it's 25-pound test. So there's my fishing line. Feels pretty strong. Can't break it. So that stuff's pretty strong. There's the jute. I showed you that a second ago. Now we have our snare wire. Very thin. Pops, breaks. I'm wondering, you know, how useful this is actually going to be. This could be used for sewing, you know, for sutures and things like that in the field. But I'm going to make a simple snare just to show you how to do it. So behind me, let's see, find a little twig here. Something like this. Nothing too crazy, just a little stick. And I'm going to wrap this thing around the stick. Make a couple wraps. One like that, see? So I did one round. See that? Hope you can see this. Now I'm going to go to the other side and make another wrap. Or 2. I'm going to leave this little tail here about 1 inch long. Kind of put those wraps together. So I have something like this. See that? Just a couple wraps around the stick. You can go one more wrap if you want, you know. it doesn't really matter too much. So from here, I'm going to pinch these two pieces together and I'm going to spin the stick. What I'm doing is I'm building a snare. Now you're probably wondering, okay dude, you're good at making snares, but how are you going to get that off that stick? You can't just slide it off. You know, I try to slide it off and it doesn't want to go, so I break the stick where the snare is. Watch this. Right there. Break the stick at the snare. Boy, that was a tongue twister. And that's what I have behind. That's what I have left. Right there. Smash it together with your fingers. And now, folks, you have a snare. So you run the end of the snare through here, through the loop, just like you're threading a needle. And then whatever you catch, whatever goes through your snare, bam, you tighten up around it. Thing tries to get away. I don't like how this stuff breaks so easily. I don't know how effective it's going to be on snares, but you can see how tight that I did that around my fingers. It did break, but it is what it is. This is the Survivorcord again by Titan. Really good. I wish that they would put a little stronger snare wire in there. This is the fishing line. Whoa, that's sharp. Look at that. Almost cut. This stuff is strong. I don't know if you can make a snare out of this or not. You'd have to use some special knots and tying techniques, but that's another video. That fishing line, it's good stuff, ties good knots. So that, my folks, is the Survivorcord by the Titan company. I really like this stuff. This stuff is solid. When it comes to Paracord, I think Titan is honestly one of the manufacturers that's leading the industry for parachute cord for the private individual, the private sector. Military grade, solid stuff. You know, it's the company's owned by a veteran. You know, I can't say enough good things about the Titan company. When you buy their product, they will send you an email usually, and the email gives you a copy of the Mil C 5040 Revision H document. I think it's like 19 pages or something, and that talks about all the specifications that it takes to manufacture military grade paracord and to claim that title of Mil C 5040, which they do. I mean, you can see even on their standard paracord, you can see that they're Mil C 5040 Revision H, and it's just good stuff. So I want to say thank you for watching the video today. I hope you got some good useful information. Please feel free to comment down below, give this video a like, please subscribe to my channel, check out my Facebook page, and until next time, have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and get yourself some Titan Survivorcord. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. Thanks. Bye. Okay, folks, this is just another quick demo of the jute twine that comes inside of the Titan paracord. I'm going to rough this stuff up again. It roughs up very well, and it breaks, the fibers break down very easily. It makes a really good tinder. Makes a really nice tinder bundle. These fibers, they come apart very easily. You know, it opens up so nice. It makes a really good tinder bundle. They accept a spark very easily. So again, here's Mr. Lightning Strike. See how quick that stuff lights, folks? Stuff is just born to make fire. That stuff works really well. I mean, that gives me plenty of time to get my tinder together, and if it goes out, no problem. Just rough up the rest of it. And this stuff is really good stuff. The jute that they've chosen to put inside for the inner fibers of this paracord is great. It really works good. Takes a spark so easily, so fast. Takes a spark very, very easily. Easy to fluff up. You know, I was playing with the Paracord earlier, and the Paracord doesn't even light this fast. It doesn't light as easy as this. That Paracord the ability to rough up the fibers on the Paracord is much more difficult than this. This stuff just is so beautiful. It just gets so fine, and it lets the oxygen into the fibers very easily. And it just, they got this right. That's what I'm trying to say. The Paracord, I did not have this much success, you know, throwing a spark. I had to throw spark after spark to get it to light. Now it did light, but it wasn't near this easy. I mean, look at that. I'm able to make a fire very easily. Not that I got it to go, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. You know, and if you could rough up like the whole section of this and make a nice bird's nest, you could definitely get a fire going. No problem. There's no doubt in my mind at all that you could really work this stuff and break it and, you know, just work it over. Get you some nice tinder going. Just fluff it up. This is good jute. Take a few pine needles and get them kind of close. Something very simple like this. I mean, you could have a fire in no time, folks. That's the inner fibers of that Survivorcord. It's really good stuff. Can't say enough good things about it, folks. Titan Survivorcord.